Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Saggy, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So I'm going to pop these here and these to the side. Before we start, oh no, already done that bit. Come on, Raph. For your actions and interactions with the world at large over the course of July, you have the Page of Swords. So for some of you, this looks like interviews. It could be for some of you, you're sending off for documents. So maybe you're looking to get a visa. Maybe you are planning a trip of some kind. Maybe for some of you, you're planning a business venture. Either which way, that Page of Swords is you taking care of the paperwork this month. I think you're getting a very clear understanding or idea of what it is that you actually need, but you're starting to gather the, it's not just the information, like you're gathering the hard documents, like the pieces of paper that are going to allow you to make a certain move or to go in a certain direction. The other thing is as well, in typical Sagittarius fashion, you guys are a little bit more forthright this month. Remember the Page of Swords, sometimes it can be, you know, it can be a little bit intense when it comes to the communication. Like everyone always says like, oh, the Knight of Swords, you know, that's like a whole heap of shit that you don't want and yah. And, you know, I'll agree with that to a certain point. But the Page of Swords tends to fly under the radar. Like sometimes this can be, you know, it can be a little bit more of a zzz than people think. So just something to be mindful of. Also, I would be very wary of any form of water cooler talk. So, you know, don't get pulled into gossiping and stuff like that this month, because the chances are it'll end up coming back in a way that you didn't expect. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Four of Cups. Look, I'm going to be really honest with you. It looks like there's something that you're quite disappointed about this month. It may be something that somebody shares with you. It might be maybe through a conversation that you have. It might be something that you see. In my mind's eye, what I can see, I don't know if any of you have ever seen that meme where there's like a person that's just about to start spouting off and then someone's holding their lips and it says, shush, let people enjoy things. You know, even if something doesn't resonate with us, even if we don't get something, we don't understand it, or, you know, maybe even you think it's a load of rubbish, sometimes it really is best, wisest and easiest just to keep your mouth shut. If you don't like it, if it's not for you, okay, you know what? Keep it moving. You don't have to. I think it was someone once said to me on one of my comments, I'd had a little bit of a rant, and someone said to me, you know, the dog that barks at everything doesn't get to its destination, or something along those lines. And so while I understand there may be something that you're disappointed with, something that you didn't think or you didn't want to see, you really do need to ask yourself, like, is this bothering me enough for me to actually need to say something? Or can I just, you know what, say, okay, I'll chalk it up. That's where you're at. That's great. The other thing is, this might be news that makes its way to you that is disappointing. So maybe you're waiting for a piece of paper on something. Maybe you're waiting for a verification of some sort and it doesn't come through, or it's delayed. Again, find a way to manage how you feel about that, because if you go charging in and spouting off, I don't think it's going to help your cause. The other thing with that Four of Cups as well, it suggests that there's another avenue that you're probably not seeing. For your heart and hearth, your love and relations, you've got the Wheel of Fortune. So for some of you, this might be travel that's coming up between you and a significant other. It could also be where something about your relationship or your connection is expanding or growing. For some of you, this may literally be talks about whether you want to have children, whether you want to expand your family or not. For those of you that have always said that you don't want kids, Maybe, just maybe, you decide that actually you do. Maybe for those of you that have always maintained that you want kids, you decide actually, you know what? No, with the world the way that it is, it just doesn't feel like the right time, place or space. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, we go through multiple. I wanted to be a dad for years. And then when I got to a certain age, I was like, no, actually at this age, there's probably, you know, I'm only 37, but even still, you know, you know, anyway, enough about that. For those of you that are single, look, you know, the Wheel of Fortune tends to put us in the right place at the right time for finding the thing that we want or that we desire. So if you are looking for a relationship, if you want to get partnered in some way, go to the invites that are coming up this month. You know, go on the road less traveled. Go and see the things and the places that you want to see. Because if you meet somebody in that place, at least you know there's going to be likely a shared common interest. So be open to it this month, but don't sort of, that's the feeling. Like if you're single, be open to it because it may happen whether you want it to or not. But don't actively try to steer it or seek it out. For your money and materials, you've got the Three of Cups. Love this right next to the Wheel of Fortune. Opportunities to increase your money, your funds, your resources is coming through the friendships. It's coming through the connections that you have, through the networks that you have. It may be for some of you as well, the way that you enhance or boost your finances or your resources is through people that you know, through your partnership or through your relationship. So if your partner invites you to a party or a get together or a whatever, and you think, oh no, do you know what, I can't stand those people, there may be some opportunity there for you. So this is one of those months where I guess don't cut off your nose to spite your face. Not only that, I like this for reconciliation potentially as well. For the other thing for your resources as well, that Three of Cups, this could be really looking at how to build maybe a more solid network or maybe a more solid passive income stream, which could be really nice. For your first week of the month, you have the Death card with that Page of Swords. I'm really sorry to say, but it does look like there's something that you've been waiting for, that you've been trying to do, or a decision that you're waiting on, or a document or a piece of paper. It's not going through. You know, sometimes these things are a blessing in disguise. Don't let that ruin your entire month. For your second week of the month, you've got the Judgment card with that Four of Cups. So there is a backward look here. In some way, shape or form, there's something that's coming back into the fold. And I wonder if this is through a conversation that you have that you realize, yeah, actually, you know what? That could be a viable financial option for me. The other thing with the Judgment card, it is a big change. And because you've got this next to the Wheel of Fortune, which is changing some big understanding or agreement that you had with your partner, there is a shift. You'll start to feel it here in the second week, but it will be probably really cemented here in the third. We'll see. There you go, with the Hierophant card. So whatever you and your partner decide, if you have one, you're cementing it on that. For those of you that are meeting someone this month, especially here in this third week of the month, or, you know, in the mid portion of the month, let's say, the chances are that this person that you meet, and I don't say this lightly, the chances are that the person that you meet may very well end up being somebody that you are either with for a long time or end up married to. And then finally, and there's a lot of you out there like, the fuck I will. For your fourth week of the month, you've got the Hermit card. So there really is like, I will say this as well, if you're building a new income stream, take your time with it. The Hermit card always says if you're going to do it properly. That Three of Cups, however, coupled with the Hermit, it's a realization that you shouldn't be doing what you're doing or what you're trying to do on your own. Yes, you know, have time, have space, have energy, etc., but you should be building your repertoire in some way, and maybe a part of that is a network of some kind. So yeah, for your new moon message, you've got the new moon in the sign of Leo on the 28th of July. Now, this is a good new moon for you because it's trine to your sign. So whether it's your sun, moon, or ascendant in Sagittarius, the new moon in Leo is a trine energy to that placement in your chart. So it's a harmonious new moon for you. This for you is taking place in your ninth house of higher education. It's travel commitments. It is also higher octaves of mind and thought and study. So for some of you, this could be a time where you really are broadening your understanding or choosing to embark on an adventure that broadens your horizons in some way. You're gathering and gaining new knowledge, new wisdom, new insight in some way, shape or form. And that could be very, very exciting. Your message for the new moon is the gate 48 and depth. So while it's all well and good taking on new knowledge, new information, new methodologies, which is always good, it's always a worthy pursuit, remembering how much knowledge and wisdom you have at the depth of who you are anyway is also a very wise move. All right, so I like this. The other thing with this card as well, it suggests that you've only scratched the surface of something. So this new moon, whatever shows up around the new moon for you, remember it's just a new moon, so it's only the start of this thing, whatever that it might be. But whatever shows up for you around this time, it's kind of giving you a glimpse to say, yes, there's something in this direction, but you haven't discovered the full force of what it is yet. For your full moon on July 13th, which is in the sign of Capricorn, this for you is in your second house of money, finances, resources, all of the good stuff, but it's also self-esteem. This is also where how we feel about ourselves. And I've always said that how you feel about yourself is in direct proportion to how much money you can earn and generate. Your full moon message is the gate 60 and limits. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, what? This limits our finances? And no, actually it doesn't. What it does suggest is you need to learn to work within the limitations that you have. So the best example that myself and Denise came up with for this is, you know, like you see when you see dogs that, you know, they've had a problem with their spine, and the owner's like, well, I'm not getting rid of my fur baby, I'm just going to make them like a little trailer with wheels. You see them running all over the place and, you know, happy-go-lucky, tongue hanging out, you know, all the rest of it. They just get on with it. It's like, okay, yes, this is my circumstance, but I'm going to make damn sure that I make the best of what I have. That's the message behind this card. So, you know what? And here's the really interesting thing as well. This is why I love this work sometimes. The other message with this is, as deep as the roots of the tree go is as far and as high as the branches can go. Right, so like I said, the new moon will show you where you've only scratched the surface of something, but it's the full moon that's really going to give you the glimpse. Now, I know you're probably thinking, well, they're backward, right? We have the full moon before we have the new moon. Yes, true. But working within what you have, that's the message for you this month. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.